Hayabusa time. We're working on the Hayabusa again today, and one step closer to getting this finished. It's going to be a late night for me tonight because I am going to try and cram all this work into tonight. I know it doesn't seem like a lot of work, at least to me it doesn't seem like a lot of work, but every time I start working on this, it is a lot of work, and I've just come to realize that. So I've just been taking my time getting this thing done right so I don't have to redo it. And well, what are we going to be working on tonight? I did work ahead the last upload. I put the camera down and there was still a little bit of night left, so I did actually get a little bit more done, and I'll show you what I got done here. So if you look here, we got the footrest on and assembled. You know, put the backing plate on, or not backing plate, the actual mount on, assembled it. Got the shifter on and working beautifully. Put on the foot peg there and the shifter, reassembled all that. So that's working just like it should be. You saw in the last upload, my chain, I installed it and got it adjusted and set up. The rear is all complete, minus the brake line, which is one of the things we're going to be doing today. We're also going to be reassembling this footrest assembly here. I have to press in these little guys here. I took them out. Now I probably didn't have to remove these at all. I mean, I probably could have just left these in and it would have saved me a lot of time, but I don't know, I removed them and now I just have to reinstall them. But I did already work ahead a little bit. I cleaned off the powder coat that was around here, so now my brake lever works just fine on there and it doesn't hang up. You really want to take caution, especially if you're doing one of these ABS bikes, that brake pedal does not stick at all, because if it sticks, then it could cause a malfunction in the ABS system and cause that light to come on, and or it could actually damage the ABS system. But yeah, just want to make sure that's clean, working smoothly like it should be, and I've done all that there, so I just got to do some finishing touches there and that'll be done. I do have to clean out just the tiniest bit of of powder coat on this side here. I don't think they realized that this was double threaded, and one side has standard threads and the other side is actually left-handed thread, because this is part of the adjustable lowering link. So I will just have to clean up the threads on this, then put that lowering link on there. After that, we will get the Brock's Triple Tree cover or mount on here so that we can lower the front suspension and then just kind of level the bike out. I am going to be removing these big bazooka tubes today as well, and going to be putting on these Kaufman shorties here. Might have to do a little bit of modifying to these because these are not from a Hayabusa. And I'm sure people are shouting at the screen now because they already know they are off of a ZX14. The owner of this bike, one of his friends had a set of these Kaufmans on his ZX14. So we're going to see if we can make these work for the time being. These are not going to be permanent, but they're going to be a lot better than these hideous looking bazooka tubes that are on there now. So that's enough about what we're going to do. Now let's just get to it. Again, this is going to be a lot of time-lapse stuff, guys, because I want to get all this done, and it's a pretty big list of things to do. So I'll time-lapse it, take a couple breaks in between, and then we'll just get into it. And hopefully we can get everything done and get this bike out of here so it can get off to its happy new home. So let's get started. We interrupt this time-lapse video for a nice little break here. And the reason I stopped the clock is because if you look here, I don't know how many Hayabusas I've worked on where this grommet is inside the airbox or missing completely. This one here is crappy. I'm gonna get a pair of pliers and get that out. Yeah, that's supposed to be in there. See if I've got the talent to put that back in one-handed. And then the real trick to these is lots and lots of silicone-based grease. You don't want to use a petroleum-based grease because a petroleum-based grease will start to break down these grommets, the rubbers, and it'll pretty much swell up and kind of turn into goo. But at least they are here. I'm gonna see if the one on the other side is still there. But it looks like somebody has removed these panels before and they didn't break the tabs, which is awesome. So let's go look over, or maybe they've never been removed before, because I know that that's a pain in the butt. Looking at the panel here, all of our nubs are still in place, which is good. Gives it the most security it can, because these plastics are basically held on with 2 screws there, and then a couple of push clips. There is a couple of screws up top there, but mainly they're held on with those little rubber grommets. So if you can, do not break them, and make sure that all the little rubber grommets are in place and they haven't gotten sucked into the airbox. Break over. Alright, now that we have the exhaust bazookas off here, I ran into our first snag in this process here. If you look here at the exhaust, there is no way that that is going to fit on that bike there at all. The Kaufman people, when we called them, they weren't lying. That's not going to fit at all. So I guess I'll just have to install what's in that box over there. Well, what do we have here? Looks like some goodies from our friends over at Brock's Performance. Finally, after 6 long weeks, this exhaust system has shown up. And I'm happy, to say the least. So we went with the Alien Head 2. For those of you that don't know what that looks like, I have the can in here. Can is in here. That's just a foam covered Alien Head 2. We'll take a look at that when it is on the bike. He went with a special design, so we'll save the unveiling till then, but we have a full exhaust system to put on here. So these are out of here. They weren't going to work anyway, and I kind of had a feeling they weren't going to work. So I'm super excited that we got the exhaust system for this bike. So now I'm just going to take the old system off and throw it in the garbage can. Now, what is actually more exciting about this is the fact that this video might be the first time that the owner of this bike is finding out that his exhaust system has come in. So they're going to be super thrilled when they hear that they got their Alien Head 2 on and this project is moving forward, because he doesn't know anything up until now. But what a way to surprise someone, huh? So we're just going to rip this exhaust system on quick and then got a few things to button up under the tank there. We still have to put that brake line on, so we're gonna do both of those things now, and then we'll fire this thing up and hear how it sounds. Alright, well, I'm not going to show you the exhaust just yet. When we get everything buttoned up, then I'll show you the exhaust. I still have to hang this rear foot peg here, so I have to put those inserts in there and then hang that. And then once that's on and I button up everything under here, extending that brake line, stuff like that, then I'll show you the exhaust and we'll actually start it up and hear how it sounds. But I'm probably not going to film much of installing stuff. I'll show you it on. The battery on the camera is pretty close to dead, and I just have to let it charge up, and I want to keep getting this stuff going because I got to get it done, and I just won't be doing much recording. So I'll see you in a few, where I probably want to have most of the stuff installed. Alrighty, it is extremely late. I did get the exhaust on. I put the gas tank back on, so the air box is all back together. Got the brake line installed. Put the LED headlight bulbs in. Got the exhaust all the way on, and this is what it looks like here. So Alien Head 2, and we went with the gold and black. Although the gold's not coming through as nice as I'd like it to. I would have liked it to have been closer to what the chain looked like, but doesn't look bad. And that Alien Head 2 exhaust looks great on here. We are about to fire this thing up for the first time here in just a second. But I wanted to show you, I got my brake line on here. In the ABS line. I actually found a couple of inches of ABS line that I was able to make work. So the ABS line, thought I was going to have to extend it, but if you look, runs perfectly alongside of that brake line. I moved the brake line from the inside of the swing arm to the outside, just because it was really close to that tire and I didn't want it rubbing on there and wearing through. So got my brake line installed, everything's on, the brake is bled. I put my footrest back together. My brake pedal works beautifully, everything else works beautifully on there as well. The exhaust mounted right up to it. So everything is working there, looks good. The only thing I have left yet to do is install my triple tree. Didn't do that yet. And I still have to, I've got a big mess here I've got to clean up. I have to put this side stand on here. So shorter side stand than the OEM. And I also have to install these lowering links, which I ended up cleaning up all the powder coat on there. So just that middle section looks good, and these adjust nice and easily. So I'll be able to adjust the ride height of this thing in the back, and then once I get this triple tree on, I will be able to lower the front so we can make the overall bike the same height front to back. But the LEDs are in, they're bright. Let's fire this thing up and hear what it sounds like. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Like I said, it's pretty late. I think it's almost 2 in the morning. And I want to get this video edited before he comes to see this. He's actually coming tomorrow to drop off some money for some parts. And again, he hasn't seen this exhaust yet. He hasn't heard it on his bike yet. He's heard this exhaust before, but not his exhaust on his bike. So super excited for that. I want to try and get this video out beforehand, but if not, it's all in good fun. But that is going to do it for this video. Like I said, in the next video, we'll be lowering this thing, and I think that's the final touches. Like I said, big score finding that extra. I mean, there was probably a good, I think Suzuki had an idea people were going to extend these just a little bit, and they kind of gave you about 4, maybe 5 extra inches of wire for that speedo sensor in the rear for the ABS. So if you're looking to extend your GSX-R 1300 or 1000 and it has ABS, I'm fairly certain that it's going to have enough to extend it. I'd say a couple inches. I mean, I think I only went about 4, maybe 5 inches on this, and I still had plenty to go on that ABS line. So that was awesome news. The brake line fits perfectly, so we got the correct size for that. So all that's left now, like I said, is just that last 10%. So we'll be closing this out next video, and hopefully that's tomorrow, but I need some sleep. I'm tired. Thank you guys for checking it out. Had to do a little sound clip there for you at the end. So we'll see you in the next upload, but bye for now.